It is 6 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African time. A blessed and beautiful one to you and yours. Welcome to African Diaries. Shayla Ndikumana keeping you company for the next 2 hours. To the team that was what a stellar job, led there by Tshepiso Makwetla of Africa World Hour. Catch them tomorrow between 9 and 10 p.m. Central African time if you're trying to find out the latest in news. Almost a daily recap, a summation of what's happened in and around the various continents. Of course, this taken through conversation with reputable guests who can keep you informed and let you know what's happening across the globe. It's time for us to scribe in our diaries. This is the show that allows you to simmer down in your day. You're saying, listen, X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3 has happened, but I want to now offload. I want to unpack. I want to unwind. And this is the journal you've been waiting for in radio style. And so in the first hour, we recap on some of the conversations that have been a reflective moment for the station. And then we get into our first conversation that speaks about love. Now, more often than not, we engage in contexts that we think is love, and these inform our decision making for futures. Now, the reason why I'm saying all of this is because you then get to a point, because of the fast-paced lifestyle that you are living, because of the context, perhaps the city, the job you do, your friends, and how people are meeting online, the new advancements in technology, all of these things cramming up together to give you this fast-paced experience of life. You're expecting the same for love. And so here you are, expecting that gentleman, that lovely lady that you met, some 2-3 weeks ago is now supposed to be head over heels over you and really wanting to speak to you every hour of the day. Not necessarily true. Now, we are going to be taking and championing that end of the conversation in the second hour of the show, just looking at the realities of what we think are red flags by virtue of the context we find ourselves in. And so how this then manifests, and we sometimes block the very love that we've been asking for, getting on our knees and praying to an extent for, this love that we have been begging and saying, listen, I want. And when it comes your way, you are not ready. That happens in the second hour of the show. In the first hour, we look at meeting online, how love that started off online can sprout into something beautiful, how what we perceive in terms of meeting people online as red flags is not a real thing, and how all of this is subjective to the person that you are having a conversation with. That comes your way in the very first hour of the show. And so today is all things red flags. We're talking romance and romantic dynamics, and that is the focal point for us this evening. Would love to hear from you, your thoughts, your views. Are red flags a thing? Do you believe that red flags are universal? If this is happening in a context, then it's definitely a problem. I'd love to hear from you. +27 6340 69126. It is 10 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African time.
Channel Africa, where every moment is an African celebration. Feel the energy. Feel the connection. Channel Africa, the African perspective. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628.
Siyabangena manje. Vito iJabulani Kolele iMagoda. Jabulani is a young man from Giyani in Limpopo in South Africa. Very easy guy, taking things easy. To know me is to know that I love what I do, which I'm crazy about it. So when you hear me on radio, expect the best. Expect great music. Expect great content. Expect 180 minutes of nothing but fun. You'll find me on the morning reset, 3 to 6 a.m., Monday to Friday. Siyabangena baba. Ay. Mbuleke.
Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter? Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard? Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126. And we will call you back so you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So yeah, that's who I am, you know.
It's not just talk, it's your chance to air your views, share your opinion, engage with a community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready to share your views on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Africa's Fix on African Diaries with Shayla Ndikumana. African Diaries, weekdays, 10 till midnight.
Tanzania ya leo imejengeka, vita Ubungo, Tazara za juu, barabara tayari zinatumika, reli yenye viwango bora, standard gauge karibu inakamilika. Tanzania ya sasa mama, ai mama, ya Magufuli mama, ai mama, inawakawaka mama, ai mama, inapendeza sana. Tanzania ya sasa mama, ai mama, ya CCM mama, ai mama, inawakawaka mama, ai mama, inapendeza sana. Nasema jua lile literemke mama, nasema wapinzani watetereke sana jamani, jua lile literemke mama wabaki wapinzani watetereke sana wazee, watoto, wanawake hospitali bure, elimu ya msingi pamoja na sekondari bure, CCM hai hai hai, Magufuli hai hai hai, wapinzani wamekaa Dr. Sheni hai hai hai, Mama Samia hai hai hai, wapinzani wamekaa Majaliwa hai hai hai, na Bashiru hai hai hai, wapinzani wamekaa Tanzania ya sasa mama, ya Magufuli mama, inawakawaka mama, ya leo inapendeza sana mama. Tanzania ya sasa mama, CCM mama, inawakawaka mama, inapendeza sana. Nasema jua lile literemke mama, nasema wapinzani watetereke sana jamani, jua lile literemke mama wabaki wapinzani watetereke sana Mzee Mangula hai hai hai, pole pole hai hai hai, wabunge wote hai hai hai, kamati kuu hai hai hai, wajumbe wa NEC hai hai hai, wenye viti wa mitaa hai hai, wenye viti wa vitongoji hai hai, mabalozi hai hai hai, CCM hai hai hai, wanachama hai hai hai, wapinzani wamekaa
20 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African Time, Zuchu, and that one titled Tanzania ya Sasa. And before that, we had Salif Keita coming in with Sina. We are about to get into our recap, but before we do that, let's pay some bills.
Mix Vibration sur Channel Africa.
Qu'est-ce qui vous a amené à dire ça? Est-ce que vous avez observé un certain nombre d'événements dans la vie? Est-ce que c'était par rapport à une expérience? Est-ce que vous avez rencontré des choses qui vous ont dit il faut de la patience, comme ça les choses vont venir au bon moment et les bons dieux pourra peut-être me visiter?
Oui, c'était justement un conseil que le Seigneur m'a fait inspirer pour donner à son peuple, parce qu'il y a la plupart des gens, pendant que Dieu bénit les autres, ils pensent que Dieu les a oubliés, et pendant que Dieu ouvre pour les autres, ils pensent que peut-être Dieu n'a pas pu écouter leurs prières. Alors, ce n'est pas le cas. Alors, Dieu bénit tout un chacun de nous avec son temps. Donc, le temps de Dieu est toujours le meilleur dans la vie de tout un chacun de nous.
Mix Vibration, tous les dimanches de 18h à 19h, temps universel.
Quer que a sua música seja tocada no Canal África? Quer que as pessoas saibam sobre o seu talento musical? Quem és? Onde és? Os teus principais interesses? E assim poderemos tocar a sua música no Canal África. Quer saber como fazer isso? É simples. Envie sua música para music@channelafrica.co.za e deixe-nos tocá-la. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
Turn the page. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
22 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African time. Let's go through the recap. This is an opportunity to reflect on some of the conversations hosted here on Channel Africa. And we kickstart off with the Rise and Shine team, and they essentially are the pulse of the African continent, and today they were reflecting on the pulse of West Africa. Asanda Beda and Dr. David Matsanga unpacked the power, politics and people behind today's biggest regional headlines
in this region, and we get perspective and analysis from Dr. David Matsanga. He is a political scientist and conflict resolution analyst. Dr. Matsanga, welcome. Always great having these catch-up sessions with you on Wednesdays. How are you on this particular one?
Thank you very much, my sister Asanda, right from Lilongwe, Malawi. I'm on my way out maybe tonight to go and see solve African problems somewhere else. Thank you very much.
And that you are very busy doing. Today, let's start with Ivory Coast. President Alassane Ouattara winning another term in office in that country. What do you make of this election win?
I was here a few weeks ago and I told you what would happen. Fortunately, this time, that day has not come. But they need a reconciliation. Of course, he bumped out a number of opponents, formidable ones, and left the ones that he can defeat at any time. Africa is heading in a direction which only AU and only African Union, effective African Union organization can change. We can change. China had those type of problems 40 years ago. They changed and they moved forward. But most of the African leaders are just slogans. We change, we see, we look like China, we look like Singapore, Malaysia. We have to change. But the problem lies with African Union. These elections are a pattern on the continent of Africa. Change this, change that, bump off this, do that. I think we better find our own democracy, Asanda. We have not found it. The only country that has found its own democracy is where you are, South Africa.
We move on to Africa Update, where Zimbabwean social media star Nyokayemba Mbunu faces a South African court amid cross-border legal drama. His lawyer, Yugeshini Govender, joins to unpack the unfolding case.
Popularly known on social media as Nyokayemba Mbunu. Nyokayemba Mbunu is appearing in a South African court on charges pertaining to the contravention of the Immigration Act. In April, Masiwa was served with an international warrant of arrest in South Africa by the Zimbabwean government relating to an outstanding fraud sentence to be served in Zimbabwe. And to speak to us further about this is one of his lawyers, Yugeshini Govender, the owner of YG and Associates Attorneys. Yugeshini, good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, tell us about the charges that Masiwa is facing.
So, Masiwa is facing a fraud charge. There's been a situation in Sandton where he's been arrested for fraud. He's been facing extradition charges and immigration charges as well. So these are the three charges against him, and this has been holding him up in prison.
And how long has he been in prison?
since April, the 13th of April.
Since the
this year.
13th of April. Now, with these charges that he's facing here in South Africa, now there's the issue of the Zimbabwean government where there's a government, relating to an outstanding fraud sentence that is to be served in Zimbabwe. Take us through exactly what's happening there and, what the process is that is supposed to take place.
Okay, so there was a matter in Zimbabwe that was in 2015. Apparently, there was a verdict in 2017, and due to the coup, Masiwa Wellington obviously left. He wasn't called for the matter. He didn't have an opportunity to present himself for the matter. So there's been an order against him, and this is now where he's now. There's an extradition for him to get back to Zimbabwe. In terms of the actual matter itself, we are trying to fight this matter. We're trying to also appeal to the Zimbabwean government as well to ensure that, they can withdraw the charges if we pay the $3,500 that's outstanding. So we have been working on this matter continuously, but there's been a lot of politics and situations involved that's been preventing this matter from further, even to get Masiwa out of prison itself.
And lastly, with the Upside team from cafes to boardrooms, the coffee revolution is redefining hospitality. Mateko Mosito and Tebohole Kuleni sip insights with Ian Evans on what's fueling this flavorful and favorful rise.
Coffee is no longer just a drink. It's become an experience. As we head into 2026, consumers are demanding more from their coffee moments. Traceable beans, barista artistry, sustainability and sensory storytelling. And this trend is showing us that it's not just in cafes, but in hotels as well, corporate lounges and restaurants, where coffee quality now defines the caliber of hospitality. With this shift comes both opportunity and pressure for the hospitality sector, and Hostex 2026, returning to the Sandton Convention Center from the 8th to the 10th of March 2026, is the place where the future of food, beverage and service will take center stage. From coffee tastings and innovations showcases to sourcing conversations and sustainability workshops. It's where Africa's hospitality leaders and roasters come to connect. Joining us on the line is Ian Evans, publisher of the Coffee Mag and Hostex 2026 ambassador, to unpack how specialty coffee is reshaping the hospitality playbook. Ian, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to the Upside. For some of us who are not big coffee drinkers and experts, I don't know what a specialty coffee is. Please unpack it for me.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me on the show. It is a bit of a loaded question. The term specialty coffee is a technical term which describes the number of points out of 100 that a coffee will be given cupped at origin, and it determines its market value. But more than that, I think specialty coffee has also become the marker of great quality experiences. So the flavor of the actual coffee that's roasted and that you taste in a coffee shop or a coffee roastery is one thing, but the experience also counts when it comes to what's become known as specialty coffee, as opposed to just commodity coffee or a general coffee out there.
For these and more stories, please do head over to our newly revamped website, www.channelafrica.co.za. If you're looking to get the audio-visual feeds, that means you're not just listening to the conversation, you're also watching some of the guests, and of course your favorite hosts ask those very questions concerning very important subject matters. Then you head over to YouTube, look for the page Channel Africa, and then you head over to the video section. Of course, every single conversation has been segmented for your perusal, for your benefit. 31 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African time. Remember, today we are focusing on red flags. And we start off with identifying red flags on the net.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
"35 minutes after 10 p.m. Central African Time." Jeffrey Oriema coming in with that one titled Mara. If you've just joined us, welcome to it. This is DSTV's 802. If not, 6 to 8 on OpenView HD. We are available on the SABC SABC Plus app. Look at simple letters failing me at this hour. SABC Plus app is where you want to head over to. Simply head over to the radio section, scroll to look for Channel Africa. Voila, done and dusted. You are listening to the station that brings you that African perspective. And then we're also live on YouTube. So the audio visual feed, meaning not only do you hear us, but you see us. You see the studio, you see some of our guests, and it's an absolute fab time that we have together. I have an hour and 24 minutes with you, and we're about to get into our very first conversation. Now, in an era where romance has gone digital, finding love online can feel like scrolling through a maze. Thrilling, unpredictable, and sometimes downright exhausting. Yet for Nontle Somdaka, a 49-year-old Woolworths store manager and proud Eastern Cape native, the digital maze became a journey of lessons of laughter and of self-discovery. As a mother, a professional, and a woman navigating modern-day dating and cultures around that, she's seen firsthand how technology reshapes relationships and the red flags that come with waving strides of conversation. Today, we dive into her stories, the highs, the heartbreaks, and the wisdom she's gained from loving and learning online. Nontle, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to African Diaries.
Evening. Thank you, Sheila, and thank you to your listeners. I am honored to be part of your guest today.
Fantastic. Mam Nontle, let's start off with the beginning. Yeah. What pushed us to online dating? You know, what was that turning point where you're like, you know what? I too am going to step into this digital age of dating online.
Okay, so maybe let me first start saying this. It's difficult to get approached at the mall or in the robots because when they look at you, they think you are someone's person. So then you then say, I am lonely, I need a partner, and I need to take the first step. And the first step will be then, you can't be standing in the mall. And now you need to understand the age also is not in my favor. I've just turned 49 on Sunday, right? So if I then don't take a step, no one will know how I feel, how lonely I am. I've got everything that I'm looking for in life, but I don't have a partner. With that being said, online dating helps because you can pick and choose. I give you my number, you know, so I've gone to few different online dating platforms, but I must say this one, I was once with it few years ago and I left it, and for some odd reasons, after I realized that these other three ones, they were full of scams, and they were full of red flags. When, you know, like when I tell someone that I find a partner from online dating, they're like, no, I'm going to register on this one. I'm like, no, you can't go there. They're like, why? Because everybody is what you're looking for, but they are really not what you're looking for. They portray to be what you are looking for. For instance, so for me, my relationship comes with green flags. Right now, currently, I don't have red flags. Mine has got all the green flags. But on the previous one, where I thought, oh, wow, I got what I'm looking for. He stays in the right place. You know, he's promising his looks and everything. Then you request, so they're too fast to ask for your number. And you give them the number because eventually you are the driver. I can pick up your call or I cannot pick up your call. You can send me countless messages. If I don't want to respond to them, I will not respond to them. And I could go on and tell you that, look, you are not what I'm looking for. And I am wrong, but let's not continue this. So if then I give you my number and I say to you, okay, so I'll call you on a video call. Are you comfortable? Then they start saying, oh, no, my camera is broken. My phone has gone for repairs. you can't do video call. You must just know that you're talking to someone next door who is not what they say they are. You move on. You know, like you try and not go in with your feelings there until you're comfortable enough that if you request a video call, it shouldn't be a question of, oh no, it should be, okay, give me 5 minutes. And some, they even go as far as, okay, no, we'll do the video call. They give you, so AI is so advanced, and you could see that you're not talking to the person. Their lips are not moving, but they're talking to you.
How?
I promise you. I promise you.
Hey.
They are talking to you, but the lips, there's a delay reaction, or the lips are not moving as he's talking. So you need to pay attention, because you're coming with your heart here with the hope that you're finding what you're looking for. And I think a few years back, I was still excited, thinking, oh, wow, this is the best. Until I realized that, oh, no, this was a scam. So this guy says to me, no, I want to buy you, or I bought you things. So they'll start asking you all these enticing questions. What size are you wearing? What do you like? What's your perfume? What's this? What's this? And you give the information because you're thinking, oh, wow, I just find someone who's going to get me these things. And at that time, it's not even about the blesser, situation, because I know that I've passed that stage of finding a blesser and
yeah.
Until this guy says to me, oh no, your parcel, it's at customs, they want you to pay this. I'm like, but you said to send me money there, so surely you can then pay back. But at that time, I was ready trying to look for money until my cousin said, no. Ask him to pay, and you will pay back with whatever he's sending to you. Why would he send you money on a parcel instead of a bank account?
Hey.
Wake up. And then from there, it started to, then I started to realize, oh no, there was a scam, But so the one that I have now, so let me brag about the one that I have.
Mom Nantle, before we go to the person you're with now, let's just highlight a few of the things that you're saying, because I do think that somebody who is listening at this very stage is thinking to themselves, I perhaps want to try online. I don't know whether I should be doing X, Y, or Z. And so before we tell them about the glory story, let's get into the nitty gritties of what could potentially go wrong. Now, you were talking about scamming, right? And how individuals try to extract money from you in some form of shape, entice you, have you thinking that you're getting a gift, a parcel, or something. But you just need to pay a little bit of this money so that they can fully send through what it is you need to get. And that's one way of doing it. I want to talk about the emotional place, the emotional context, because sometimes it's not people who are trying to extort money from you. Sometimes it's just people who are trying to mess with you emotionally, people who are not available, who are not trying to commit, who are perhaps looking for flings or any other thing to that effect. Have you experienced that? And if so, let's highlight some of the red flags there.
So maybe, Sheila, I get the fling. I get, where maybe they want the one night stand. But before I answer you, can I tell you just one last incident where I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
I found this guy, and he's not staying far from me. He stays in Clearwater, so that's like 10 minutes away, right? So I'm like, perfect. Because you also don't want to look for someone who's far, where you're going to think twice for petrol. In this economy, you need to think of everything. Because then if you get this partner, you must think, okay, how are we going to do this? You can't have a partner in Mpumalanga and think that you're going to, well, maybe you can. But at that point, for me, I was looking for a partner where, I can have someone. So we chat until this other time says to me, oh no, I've told my aunt about you. And I'm, oh wow. Now I'm excited thinking, oh wow. He even wants to introduce me to his family. This must be the real deal. And then we arrange that I'll come on a Saturday. So I've been taught that when you go visit people, You don't go empty-handed. I went to buy a bottle of wine. I went to buy a box of chocolate and flowers because now I'm meeting the aunt. I don't know if the aunt is someone who's a collector or maybe someone who goes to church, but at least I must have a bit of this because then I can always say to the wine, if you're a collector, if you have visitors, because then I don't want to impose that you are a drunkard, but at least I'm thinking of in case you are a collector. I got there. The guy says to me, my aunt has gone to the shop. Now, I'm invited for breakfast, by the way. So I left my house without eating because I'm going to be fed, you know. This is me in my crazy world. I got there into this big house. Then the guy says, no, let me take you through to the house, okay? So there's a pool and all the works of the room down, you know. Then the aunt comes. Aunt is wearing all black. I think she went to the shops. So I think this guy made me coffee. I think I've asked for coffee because I'm thinking that food is still coming. The aunt came. The aunt says to me, oh no, so-and-so has told me about you, but, you know, I want to pray for you. I can see why your grandmother is not coming in. Huh? Grandmother not coming in. I see your grandmother is waiting outside. For a moment, I was lost. My grandmother is waiting for me outside. So then she wants me to go to this room, then they can pray, or then she can pray. We went to this room. At that moment, I told myself, I will never. We got to this room. This room looks like a room for a sangoma, kind of. It has got bit of this, bit of that. And we got to sit down, me and this guy, close to each other, holding hands. I promise you, there, how I got away, I still don't know. Then this lady tells me my problems, and then she's like, so we need to do this for you in order for your relationship to be blessed with this. So-and-so, this so-and-so, we're holding hands because he's talking to his late father. His late father needs to accept me. And you know, when you're desperate, you believe almost everything. Then I was told that, so in order for these things to go away, I need the first debt of my house. So I need to clean my house and bring the first debt and the water from my house. Now, I just had a helper on Friday, so you won't find dirt in my house. I'm like, okay. Then I realized that I need to play along here because if I'll come out alive. And breakfast didn't happen, by the way. Breakfast did not happen. And then from there, I was told that there are people, there are celebrities that are coming here, so I need to leave now because those celebrities mustn't see, or I must not see these celebrities. And I left, and I never looked back. The guy tried to call me, I never picked up his phone. Until I was like, no, you need to cut him off because he's keeping your phone busy. And I'm a believer of a universe. So I need to tell the universe that this is not what I thought it is. Therefore, let me release him to other people. I promise you, 2 weeks down the line, I read the story of the same thing where a person has given all her monies to these people because they say, bring your money, we're going to put your money, it's going to multiply. I could have been a scam of that.
Nontle, listen, a crowd and I, because TikTok is currently live, are stunned by your story. It sounds like something from a movie. Hey?
Guys, it's rough out there.
Yeah.
Guys, it's rough out there. Yes, you have no idea. But yeah, that is the story. So at that time, I'm excited. Oh, wow, I got this partner. Now, like, you can understand that, you know, we spoke a Friday, which is the night before the breakfast. And I went to bed smiling because this guy looks like he's got, you know, he knows what he's looking for. His intentions look like, you know, I'm even meeting his aunt. So he has told his aunt about me. Auntie who? So then I am telling you now, the aunt was not aunt. The aunt was the person that they're doing this together. It could be the wife for all I know. So what then happens, the aunt, when it's a man, the aunt becomes the girlfriend to this potential person, and this guy will be the uncle. That's how it is. And that's how they scam people.
Nontle,
Because then I
yes.
realized,
yeah.
Because then I realized that actually the house didn't have much furniture. It was a big house. It could be a rented house for all I know. It could have been a hired house. It could have been anything. But the house did not present itself as a house that people are staying here for a long time. Maybe they just moved in. I don't know. I could be wrong. But for me, if maybe I had a kind of house like that, I wouldn't have offered to show around the house because there was nothing to offer other than a shell with few items of this and that, and that's about it.
Nontle, we are glad that you are safe, firstly. We are glad that nothing happened to you and you managed to escape. And thank you so much for sharing your story, because not only are you shining a light on some of these scams that are happening online, but you're also conscientizing people to look at the context for what it is. Because you said it yourself. It starts off and you're smitten. You know, you impressed. You are told, listen, breakfast is coming your way. You're like, yes, I'm even going to wake up. I'm going to dress up. I'm not going to eat breakfast. I'm going to go over to this gentleman's house. And then it takes a turn for the worst. And in your case, of course, we see some kind of reprieve coming from the context. Let's talk about what are fundamentals that people should be looking out for when talking online? I know you talked about the video call, the fact that AI is now being in use where somebody's face is there and their mouth is not moving or they're not blinking, but they're talking to you. You know, that's some kind of filter. I don't know what caliber of filter that is, but that's a real one. When we talk about meeting up, what are some of the red flags that you want to point out? And you're saying, listen, if you're noticing these things, I don't think it's a good idea for you to proceed.
So maybe for me, not the meeting up per se, but I think it's important. So when we take pictures, I'm sure if you take pictures, the background is very important. When it becomes too lashy, too beautiful, then there you should be worried. When they become what you perceive as, oh wow, the place has got stairs, like those stairs with palisades and glasses, you should be worried. That's the first for me. For me, that is the first red flag that you should be worried. Because a man that has got, or maybe a man that has achieved so much, and yet you say, but why doesn't he have a partner? Is it even him on those pictures? Because Nontle might be showing on pictures because my pictures before my Facebook was not locked. So then people then can have access of your pictures wherever. You are looking for a partner and you don't know that you're looking for a partner because someone is using your pictures. You're not aware that you're single and you're looking for a partner. Someone is using your pictures because you seem as this successful person, so they take your pictures and use them to look for partners. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I am aware that they can easily access your profile on social media, use your picture content, put you on a website, and next thing, Shayla's busy looking for a partner on platform X, which is a reality as well. Nontle, we are pressed for time, so I'm going to move on to the success story. You said that there was one individual who changed the game for you. Here's a man who makes you decide, listen, I'm not going back onto these platforms. And then you meet somebody else. How did you meet them? Because I thought you were canceling these platforms. And secondly, what was different about this man?
Okay, so I think this partner, I came back home, ran about 9-ish, and I just log in and I start browsing. So this platform, people are paying. So if the person that you show interest is already paying and you're not paying, then you are able to get the messages. Like you can charge to the person, but one has to be a paying member. So I showed interest on this gentleman. He was a platinum member at the time. And I think within 20 or 30 minutes, he sent a message and greeting me, "Hi, Nontle. Do you have time to chat?" We start chatting. I think we chatted for like an hour. And then from there, he sends his number, right? And then I save his number, and then I sent him a message. I say, "You just shared your number with me, and I'm so and so. Can we video call?" He's like, "Sure." And then I made a video call, and I made a joke and say, "Are you decent, for me to do video call with you?" Then he's like, "Oh, you wanted me to wear a suit?" At first I was like, okay, geez, but only to find out he's just joking. So we chatted on that video call for a good 2 hours. Now, this is on a Thursday, and this gentleman on our chat, he's leaving for Germany and Netherlands on Saturday. So if then we keep on chatting without seeing each other, chances of we might still be together are very slim. He then says to me, "I would like to see you before I leave, because I've been struggling to find partners, because no one wants to have a man that is gone for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, up to 2 months, because his job is to train. So he does training in these in these countries." I'm like, "Okay, no, it's fine. We can meet tomorrow." He's like, "Would you do that?" I'm like, "Yes, I was on leave for 2 days and I'm working the weekend." Fine. So we closed the conversation the next day. So normally I'd be the first one to send a message in the morning, because I'm this desperate person, right? I'd be the first one to check you up in the morning. This was different. I don't know why, how. He was the first one to send me a message to check up on me. I'm like, wow. Then gives me feedback. That's collecting my visa. Within 20 minutes, he sends me, because he asked, "Where would you like us to meet?" I said, "Mall of Africa." He says, "In Pretoria." I'm saying in Joburg North. So I said, "Let's meet in Mall of Africa." He sends me reservation for 6 o'clock at this place. I'm like, wow. I started to be nervous and panicking, because I've never experienced such a man leading. I'm like, okay. Then I started to panic. What am I going to wear? Because now I have no idea. That day, then I went on a date. When I got to a date, he had a bunch of roses for me and a box of chocolate. He said, "I didn't know what to bring you on the first date." For me, that alone, that was enough. He went to the door to collect me. As I was talking to the person, "I'm meeting so and so," he went to the door to collect me, took me to the table, and we got there at 6 o'clock, Sheila. We left just after 11. I don't know what we're talking about, but we left just after 11. The cars were already gone. Then he sends me a location and says, "This is my place. I am home safe. Good night. We'll talk tomorrow." Tomorrow, we check each other. He wants to bring me lunch. I said, "No, don't bring me lunch, because you haven't finished packing, because you're leaving today, which is Saturday. Don't bring me lunch. Maybe I can meet you at the airport." Now, there I need to check, is he for real? Is he really going to where he says he's going? And also, if then he's going, then I'm able to say him off and say, "Travel safe." I promise you, he's like, would you do that? Really? I'm like, yes. He's like, okay. Now, I'm wearing the same clothes that I was wearing yesterday, because I was semi-formal. I have to go home and go change, because I'm knocking off at 7, and then drove off to the airport. My cousin says to me, "Get him something. Just show him that sometimes it's not just only men that they must get to something." Oh, by the way, I forgot something. Before he paid for the bill, he asked me if I would like a bottle of wine to take home. I said to him, "No, don't worry. I've got enough alcohol at home." That alone, I was like, wow. So I said, "No, it's okay. I've got enough alcohol." I got to the airport, so you got to pick up by shuttle. So I got to the airport, I'm like, I'm here. Then I went to Woolworths to buy thermal vest because it's going to a country that is cold and it's winter there. I promise you, his face, he couldn't believe. He said, let's meet at KLM. I am flying with KLM. And he's like, I've never been seen off. I've never. So I said, no, I just want Nando's. He said, I've never been on this side. I've been traveling for the past 12 years. No one has ever taken me to the airport or seen me off. I've never sit down. I check in, I go to the lounge, and then that's it. As if that was not enough. On Monday, I got a call, say, Sis Nontle, come and sign, there's a parcel for you. A bunch of roses with a beautiful message.
Nontle, it sounds like you are living the life. We are listening to your story, and for us who are still singletons, we're like, yo, when is our time coming? When is it coming? But what we love for you is that you are finding true love, and you're finding somebody that can appreciate you for you as you do them. And Nontle, just to get context, how long has the relationship been relationshiping?
It's been 3 months now.
Oh, yes, ma'am. And is it growing stronger?
So Sunday was my birthday. On Friday, I was at home. I got a call from the gate. There's a parcel for you. He's like, I don't know what to get you, but so I think his signature is Ferrero Rocher and roses. So Net Forest was here to deliver Ferrero Rocher and roses for me and the beautiful card for my birthday. That will be on Sunday. It got delivered on Friday because then he has traveled again.
Ma'am, we want nothing but the best for you. We want you to enjoy life to the fullest. We hope that this indeed is that lucky lock, and that you find yourself in that happily ever after state. And Nontle, thank you so much for joining us on the show this evening.
Thank you so much, Sheila. Have a good evening.
The voice there of Nontle Somdaka sharing with us her personal experience with respect to finding love online, the red flags that one ought to look out for, which are proving to be far more dangerous than I thought. Like the fact that you need to be clear and cognizant that people are using AI to fake persons speaking to you via video call. And so if you cannot recognize a deep fake, this becomes problematic. 3 minutes after 11 p.m. Central African time. While you go Google deep fakes and all these other things that AI can integrate into a video call, let's get some music.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa. Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa.
Put my eyes, that's good, I cry. love show. Got my dreadlocks. You leave me, I don't pray. Mohammed, I don't break commandment. I can't stand for one place. Go say my back. Come and ginger me. Only you that feel my best. Give me vitamins. We're gonna take these pains away. So oh, so
Love music, love culture, love life. Because you on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
each other, yeah. Don't try to move me from my lover, yeah. Suited for each other, suited for each other. Tailor-made, I'm glued up on my lover. I'll never lose him to another, yeah. When we talked on the phone and you said that you love me, did you say that that's for sure, yeah? I wanna scream from the top of the rooftop, tell you that my love for you, I keep on rewind. I struggle to find new words to define. What a love, yeah. What a love, yeah. What a love, what a love, what a love, yeah. What a love, yeah. What a love, what a love, what a love. What a love, what a love. Baby, we both know it's just something we both know. Suited for each other, suited for each other. Don't try to move me from my lover. Suited for each other, suited for each other. Tailor-made, I'm glued up on my lover. I'll never lose him to another. Never, never know, yeah. Never, never lose him to another, yeah. Never, never know, yeah. Never know, yeah. See, I just really miss you, yeah. And I'm forever in true to you. Somehow I just stay glued to you. Oh, I gotta get away. No, not forever, just a little break. But I can't find the time or place. I don't ever wanna go too far away. So we play husband and wife. You take the keys to my life. I know we're just a little too young, yeah. And having just a little too much fun. Ay, but what a love that we got. What a love that we got. When it just don't stop, we fade into a special space. I pray we never lose the faith, yeah. What a love, what a love, yeah. What a love, what a love, yeah. What a love, what a love, what a love, yeah. What a love, what a love, yeah. What a love, what a love, what a love, what a love, what a love. Baby, we both know it's just something we both know. It's just something we both know. It's just something we both know, yeah.
Shekinah there with that one titled Suited, bringing us to 11 minutes after 11 p.m. Central African time. If you have just joined us, welcome to it. African Diaries is the name of the show, and today we are scribing all things love and romance. We had an opportunity to touch base with Nontle Somdaka, who was sharing with us her experience online, how she found love that is still in its booming baby phase, 3 months into it, and she is glistening in the twilight. And so she also had a moment where she shared with us some of the red flags that took place. And so people scamming, people pretending to be people they aren't, people trying to extort money from you. So much happening online that you perhaps are not cognizant of. Sometimes out of desperation, you ignore the red flags. And today's show is truly just to highlight that red flags are a real thing. But the question is, are they subjective, or are red flags just red flags? You know, are there some red flags that are subject to your lens? Meaning, because you view life in form X and you view love in form Y, this is how you are processing this thing. And this is why that red flag exists. So that's a question to you. I'd love to find out from you. Find us on WhatsApp, +27 6340 9126. In this hour, we learn one of the biggest green flags that a man can show you. If you're a gentleman and you're saying, Shayla, let me tell you about it. Before you even get into that conversation, let me educate you. Let me school you. Please find me on WhatsApp. Again, send through a voice note, +27 6340 9126. We're also going to learn that perhaps in your context, the red flag that you're picking up is not really a red flag. You, in actual fact, carry the red flags because your lens that you view life through is limited, is broken, and is somewhat hurt. You are viewing life through past traumas and past pains, and so making decisions that will benefit you in the long run becomes even more difficult. That conversation comes your way. We have an opportunity to touch base with people who've been in relationships, but also individuals who have counseled those seeking relationship, those seeking marriage in actual fact. 13 after 11 p.m. Central African time. It's back into the music.
Ahoy, matey!
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa 1. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa 1. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Sweet melody.
lose my focus when I just found my way to you. Anytime when you hear my coco, tell me what you gonna do. You should run to me. I'm on set, I wanna book a shape you. It is troubling me. I'm so scared I'm gonna lose my baby. Keep some trust for me. I know be that type of fake where man. I go fight for thee. Do anything to keep you, my baby. Consina me pick check out my hope. You know go live for me to a man when somebody could give you full of wash. You know go live for me. Go. You know I'm so loyal. Baby more. You know I'm so loyal. Baby more. Oh, baby more. You know I'm so loyal. Baby more. You know I'm so loyal.
Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa.
No kwanza tupo kilomita 6. Funga mkanda bado hatujafika. Huku njiani kuna vita. Subira itahitajika. Shida mitiani. Binadamu tumeumbiwa. Na mapenzi ni burudani. Toka enzi tuliambiwa. Umeleta furaha. Kipindi cha mashaka. Moyo ulipakwamika. Umeutakasa sababu sina sababu. Nikiulizwa nimependa nini, sina jawabu. Niwe wako boda boda, boda boda, popote tutatembea, boda boda. Oh, tolipia fare, boda boda, foleni utongojea, boda boda.
Nakukamatia juu na kukamatia chini, watu wote wanajua na kukamatia mimi. Wanafiki wa mbea watakamatia nini? Acha wende watu roge situkamatie dini. Story za mapenzi si tunafaa, washasemaga mengi miaka kadhaa, na bado tuna trend usiku na saa. Sisi uko na mnyamwezi kibamba
Habibi siri ndogo ndogo nifichie. Kama nikikosa niambie, na nikipatia unisifie. Nisifie baby. Habibi siri ndogo ndogo nifichie. Kama nikikosa niambie, na nikipatia unisifie. Nisifie sababu sina sababu. Nikiulizwa nimependa nini, sina jawabu. Sijui niwe wako boda boda, boda boda, popote tutatembea, boda boda. Oh, tolipia fare, boda boda, foleni utongojea, boda boda.
Slicer. 20 minutes after 11 p.m. Central African time, Bill Nuss coming in with that one titled Boda alongside Mbosso. And before that, we had Chella coming in with Loyal. This is DSTV's 802. If not, 6 to 8 on OpenView HD. We are also on that SABC Plus app. And then lastly, you can stream us from anywhere in the world on YouTube. How exciting is that? You get the audio visuals, meaning you get to listen and to watch the show as well. Look for Channel Africa on YouTube. You should see the purple, or rather pink red highlight on the profile picture, that indicating to you that the show is currently live. If you missed some of the conversations, head over to the video section. Look for the heading that you would like to listen to in terms of context and conversation. Voila, done and dusted. I want us to get into this audio, and this is an audio courtesy of Coach Turkez. Now, Coach Turkez is from the States, and he is addressing two aspects, two fundamental aspects. One of the biggest green flags that women miss in men, that we think is a red flag, and two, how our lens, in actual fact, is the red flag, reproducing itself when men are actually trying to connect to us. Let's have a listen.
The biggest sign that a man is into you and falling for you is actually something that most women see as a red flag. And 99% of women miss this, especially high-achieving women. And it's why they end up sabotaging a relationship with a great man who would adore them like a goddess. The biggest sign that a man is into you and falling for you, it's not when you meet his parents or when he starts talking about a future with you or even when he tells you I love you. The biggest sign that a man is into you is that he's patient. And this isn't a slow burn relationship. This man is patient because he's watching you. This is a man who is serious. This is a man who is a leader. This is a man who is intentional. So he's not testing you or playing games. This man is serious about where he puts his energy. He wants to see when the two of you have an argument or a disagreement, if you shut down and block him for 3 days. He wants to see if you get belligerent when you had too many espresso martinis. He wants to see when the two of you start to get serious and develop feelings that you don't get needy and jealous. And I know you're not used to a man being patient and having discernment, being selective about who he enters a relationship with. You're not used to a man actually watching you. You're used to a man rushing into the relationship. You see patience from a man and you interpret this as he's dragging his feet, he's an avoidant, or, he doesn't know what he wants. Because you're used to men coming in scorching hot. They want to text you all day, every day, call you all day, every day, want to FaceTime with you all day, every day. They pour it on heavy. Even after a couple of dates, they tell you, yeah, I think you're my twin flame and you're so perfect. They want to spend every waking moment with you. And then when you have friends and family and hobbies that you pour into, they get jealous and they feel isolated. And this type of attention from a man makes your head spin. Why? Because you're the high achieving woman. You're ambitious. You're a go-getter. You have the multi-six-figure salary, the JD from Michigan. You run the entire department. Everyone comes to you to make the hard decisions. You're always budgeting, forecasting, leading. You're the one that puts the fires out. You are the glue that everyone is held together by. You're in your masculine all day. So when you meet a man and he comes in scorching hot, it's like juice. It's like catnip. It's like that good crack rock. It's that ready rock. It hits your bloodstream and you don't know what to do with yourself. These men make you feel something. But the problem is it's unhealthy. It's chaotic. It never lasts. It makes you feel disrespected. It makes you, you get the mixed signals. You're confused. You feel unfulfilled, but it makes you feel alive because it's in direct contrast to the independent boss babe leader that you are at the office. But here is James being patient, but he's still planning the dates, being consistent, telling you, I like where this is going. And you can see the connection is developing and intensifying, but you're not used to this pace because he's not coming in pouring it on heavy and coming in hot. It's not a roller coaster. It's not a fast paced. It's not hot and cold. So anything that is unfamiliar to you, you automatically reject it. When he's consistent, you reject it. That man keeps his word and he does what he said he was going to do. You panic. That man is into you, but he's not overwhelming you. And it's why you're up at 1:45 thinking he's got to be sleeping with another woman. Or you're thinking, maybe I'm just not enough. And you're left unsatisfied, not because he's not doing enough, but because you, Miss Independent, Miss High Achieving Woman, Miss Successful, you're used to dating the projects, the potential, the Build-A-Bears, the Build-A-Boos, the wounded birds, the men you have to lead, the men that leave you consistently dissatisfied because you're basing everything off the potential, right? The potential, and that has you holding on for dear life because you learned to chase, you learned to prove yourself, you learned to earn love through performance, through straight A's, through perfect hair, through being booked and busy, and it's why you're the woman who's ambitious and gets things done. But receiving love, that's an entirely different ball game. Not because you're unlovable, just because you have an identity that sees safety and stability as dangerous. But if you want to continue to have relationships where you equate chaos with chemistry, then continue to do what you're doing and say, oh well, I'll just take a couple of months off from dating and work on myself. And none of that is working for you because you've been in therapy for 2 years and you know your attachment style, you know your patterns, you know where this comes from, but nothing has changed.
Mix Vibration sur Channel Africa.
Qu'est-ce qui vous a amené à dire ça? Est-ce que vous avez observé un certain nombre d'événements dans la vie? Est-ce que c'était par rapport à une expérience? Est-ce que vous avez rencontré des choses qui vous ont dit il faut de la patience, comme ça les choses vont venir au bon moment et les bons dieux pourra peut-être me visiter?
Oui, c'était justement un conseil que le Seigneur m'a fait inspirer pour donner à son peuple, parce qu'il y a la plupart des gens, pendant que Dieu bénit les autres, ils pensent que Dieu les a oubliés, et pendant que Dieu ouvre pour les autres, ils pensent que peut-être Dieu n'a pas pu écouter leurs prières. Alors, ce n'est pas le cas. Alors, Dieu bénit tout un chacun de nous avec son temps. Donc, le temps de Dieu est toujours le meilleur dans la vie de tout un chacun de nous.
Mix Vibration, tous les dimanches de 18h à 19h, temps universel.
Quer que a sua música seja tocada no Canal África? Quer que as pessoas saibam sobre o seu talento musical? Quem és? Onde és? Os teus principais interesses? E assim poderemos tocar a sua música no Canal África. Quer saber como fazer isso? É simples. Envie a sua música para music@channelafrica.co.za e deixe-nos tocá-la. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
When the sun goes down, we don't stop the talk. Channel Africa, the best nighttime radio. Africa Speaks on African Diaries with Shayla Ndikumana. Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GPV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your favorite SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GPV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. Africa's voices, Africa's journeys, they're all on African Diaries.
29 minutes after 11 p.m. Central African time. Thank you so much for choosing us over the rest. And if you've just joined us, you're in time for our next conversation. We're looking at the reality of lenses, or rather a lens in which we can connect, communicate, visualize life through, specific to romantic contexts and relationships. Now, there was a audio that we heard there courtesy of Coach Turk, who spoke about just a few issues that came into play. One, a green flag that men often try and practice and women think is a red flag is when he takes his time with you. You think he's being slow, you think he's not being intentional, whereas he is studying you. So that's one fact. Two, the reality that as women, we have been groomed to perform. And so when we are not in performance mode, it feels dangerous. And when it feels dangerous, we want to dismiss the context. This is not real love. It can't be true. There's no way that this is for me. And so quite a bit to unravel there. Remember, the highlighting factor that we're looking at this evening is red flags. And perhaps these red flags that we keep on trying to highlight are not necessarily about the next person, but they're us. The fact that we don't have the correct lens. And so joining us this evening is author, mentor, and marriage counselor, Bright Junior Kamoto. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Bright. Welcome to African Diaries.
Thank you so much, Shayla. Greetings to the viewers.
Let's start off with just highlighting fundamental lens, the fundamental lens through which you're supposed to view your partner through. And the reason I want us to get this out in the clear is that for the most part, it is our perceived view that informs what we call reality. And so perhaps let's tweak that understanding.
First of all, I think, the saying that says we are what we eat. But at the same time, I think a person is made out of a couple of things: experience, what they feed on in terms of knowledge, and some of the things that themselves they perceive or project about themselves to say, this is what I want to be, this is what I would like to have, or perhaps I would like to gather about myself. Those are things that a lot of people tend to build their life on, this perfect picture that they would like to have. Unfortunately, reality has got a way of teaching us a lesson that it's not always going to go your way. And so, yeah, the fundamentals of relationships per se, it's based on, I guess, it's seeing life on the perspective of the other person and not necessarily from your own alone.
Mr. Bright, I think the one thing that I do want to come into context with is that I don't have my potential partner's lens, you know? All I have is Shayla's view. The truth, if we are to look at what's factual, as Shayla has experienced life, she's gone through life, and she realized, in context with the video that we just had an opportunity to witness, is that if he's slow and he's taking his time, he perhaps doesn't have an interest. That's all Shayla has to see at this stage. How do we begin to recalibrate our thinking so that I go, wait, Shayla, you think he's slow, but what does he think? And also, in the context of relationships, more often than not, one person is the one who wants to fully express themselves, and the other does not want to express anything. And so, in that context where you can't get the view from your partner, what are we supposed to hold on to?
Sure, I think action speaks louder than words. I think more than anything, one should not be quickly be dismissive if they, are experiencing different kind of person, or perhaps let's say if it's a female lady, you're experiencing a different kind of man who's approaching you differently. Before we are quick to dismiss them in their action, I think also begin to weigh the motives and as to why is this person doing what they're doing, and why are they taking perhaps their time to engage, or maybe they are slow, or perhaps why is it that he doesn't like to fight? You know how some ladies would want people who break me, like just say something, like just tear me apart. I would like to fight with you, but you get those gentlemen that are just so humble. And I think it's always good to find out and ask yourself these questions before you dismiss anything. What is the motive of this person, and why are they taking their time, or what is it exactly that they are getting up to when they are doing this? Outside of the conclusion that you're having about your perspectives to say, oh, this guy is probably not interested, or this guy is probably, maybe doesn't love me, or he's probably trying to get away with something that I'm not certain about. We must not be quick to be those kind of people, but rather begin to ask yourself questions: why, where, who, and what exactly are they doing this for? And when you begin to do that, eventually his actions begin to answer those questions for themselves to you.
Right. I think when we ask questions, sometimes we don't ask them in the right spaces. Yes. So as opposed to going to the partner at hand who I think struggles to communicate, I will go to a friend, a colleague. I will hop onto a live and I will share my experience with somebody who appears to know something. What are the safe spaces that we can turn to? I just feel like there's a code of conduct around relationshiping and preserving your partner's image, but also you wanting to find out what they think by asking people who see life differently from you? Where do we strike a balance?
Okay, first of all, I always encourage people to have an open platform within their relationship before they could look for help or from anywhere else asking questions about anyone or include anyone into the relationship. I have this analogy or perhaps this picture I always say to people. Put everything on the table and always remember none of you are the things that you have placed on the table. Rather, look at what's on the table and deal with each other accordingly, still loving each other, still holding hands. If you can have an open relationship where you can communicate about everything and anything, it actually helps you guys even further before you go and seek for help outside somewhere else. Number two, if you are going to go outside of that context where you don't have an open relationship and you are not able to exercise your freedom in that relationship, you are shy or you probably scared, maybe this might jump off the wrong way, then in that case, then you look for people who have the best interest in you and that relationship, and not necessarily people who's going to tell you, yeah boy, just dump the guy, he's not all good. You look for people who can have a sound mind and are reasonable to engage with you concerning that particular relationship, that when you express things is not only seeing it from your view but also seeing it from his side, so that in that way you are in a safe environment, you are in a secure place where it's not going to be one-sided advice, but it's going to be a general advice where it can assist your relationship, even you yourself, how to engage yourself into that relationship.
Bright, I want to turn to the matter at hand, red flags. Now, what are some of the perceived red flags for both men and women that in actual fact are green flags? So I want you to give us two contexts. So man looking onto woman thinking red flag, when in actual fact it's a green flag that you have witnessed in your marital counseling sessions. And then of course the inverse being true as well, to say that woman looking onto men thinking red flag, when in actual fact, no, it's a green flag. Can you list some of those for us?
First of all, appearance. I think I've dealt with those a lot. I've seen how women particularly reject men because of appearance. Oh, he doesn't have a good nose, or he doesn't have a good eye. And then, or perhaps, oh, he's not wearing he does not coordinate well with colors. And I've noticed that they've lost a good man based on judging him from afar due to experience or perhaps the appearance that they're having. And often I always say to people, there's a idea that as a lady, the image you have about a guy, it does not exist in reality. It only exists in your head. However, you are given the opportunity to turn that image into a reality. What you are given is an incomplete picture of a man, which you need to help and assist to become that kind of picture you are looking for. And often it feels like work, and then they'll immediately reject that person because, oh, the way he speaks, or perhaps the way he dresses, oh, those shades are not so proper. And then the other red flags that often women jump into is issues, for instance, where there's female friendships from the male side, where perhaps I've seen how if a man who grew up with, for instance, a mother only, can easily connect with women or ladies because of that relationship he had, particularly with the mother. And because of that, before ladies could even conclude or find out exactly why this person is connected more to ladies, or perhaps his friends or friends are more ladies than guys, they are more quickly to dismiss and say, nah, he's a player. I'm gonna jump off from that. So there's so many things that when you look at in terms of the lady side, and then from the guy side, oh my, it's almost similar things. One major red flag is that if a woman seems to be well kept in terms of financially, or they've got such a strong-willed personality, more of like a boss kind of thing, a CEO kind of look. What men often tends to jump ship because they feel like I can't afford you, or perhaps they feel like, oh no, she wants to wear pants in the relationship. That's a red flag. It's not necessarily the case, but more of a situation whereby she's such a good leader, or perhaps a good partner, that she can assist you and empower you and help you and become also something different compared to where you are right now. But I've seen, I mean, particularly my wife, is a strong-willed leader, well kept, a person who's always on top of things. And I'm that guy who's like a gentle guy, but always in my corner, things like that. And I have seen how that works so well in so many cases, whereby if I was in that position of considering that as a red flag, I would have probably dismissed her, even not even get married to her. But I've seen the goodness and the greatness of that kind of character within a context of a relationship. They are such good people who can communicate, well, and weigh issues well, provide solutions well, and advise, and also being on top of things. As for instance, a man, he's a solution based, and you would want that kind of person to be on your side, whereby rather than just continuously being emotional, continuously being a person who's always in the corner crying. Now you've got a partner who says, hey, let's get this done, we can do this, we can do things like that. So often those are the things that men can. I've faced a lot of people saying, no, man, she's too strong for me. That's a red flag, man. I feel like I'll be fighting with another fellow man. What we don't get is such a partner could be such a great help and ease to your life.
Right. And we are a little pressed for time, and I do know that there is more questions that we had lined up for you. But as a parting shot, what would you say to somebody who is trying to get into a relationship? They are not too familiar with their own lens at this stage. I feel like when you do have someone close to you, that's when you begin to get a mirror experience of who you are, right? By virtue of the next person's reaction. That's when you learn more about yourself to an extent. And so for those who are trying to step into a relationship, they're saying, listen, I want to step in, but it's giving red flags all over. It's giving dating online is not for me. It's giving the only place I'll find love is in a much older generation. Those are the commentary that people are indulging at this present stage. What would you say to them to encourage them that love can be found in 2025, but also that it is okay to journey through the process and not wait for the end game?
Sure. You know what? There's always light at the end of the tunnel. In every season, whatever darkness there is, there's always light. And situations will never be the same, always or constantly the same or stay the same. And so for those who are desiring to pursue love and still feel skeptical because of the circumstances they are in or the situations they are in, first of all, be healed. Not every man is the same. Not every woman is the same. Yes, you've been through the most. Yes, you have seen the worst kind, but there are also beautiful people out there. There are also beautiful men and women out there, not beautifully on the outside alone, but beautiful within their heart, that they are able to show you what love, what true love is. But you need to take off the veil of the trauma. You need to take off the veil of the what ifs. You need to take off the veil of, man, this is not for me right now. I probably can only find love in that particular place. you might miss it because you're only focusing in a specific area. Remove the veil. Take away the things that blinds you from seeing true love. Take away the things that seems to be kind of like protecting you, but are actually affecting you from experiencing true love. So I would advise them to say, begin to heal, begin to remove the veil. From there, you get to see that there are actually beautiful people out there. There are actually amazing people out there. It's not always dark and gloomy, but there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Mr. Bright, this has been a pleasure. What a stellar conversation. You have left us with wisdom. You've left us thinking, but you've also left us reckoning with the reality that maybe, just maybe, we are not healed as yet. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
You're welcome, Sheila. Thank you to all the viewers.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me.
The voice there of author, mentor, and marriage counselor. That is Bright Junior Kamoto. 47 after 11 p.m. Central African time. We're going to take a quick breather. When we get back, we are in the producer's corner because my producer has a thing or two to say about the subject matter.
Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Nighttime radio, just the way you like it, on Channel Africa, where the night comes alive. One continent, 1,000 stories. It's African Diaries, 10 till midnight, on Channel Africa.
47 after 11 p.m. Central African time. You are indeed tuned into African Diaries. And before me is a queen, Nombuso Mahlangu, who is a producer of note. Quite the exceptional one, might I add, who brought through to the fort that video that shocked our brain cells. Ma'am, I want to get your reaction. Coach Tark comes on and he says, first of all, women, patience is a green flag. Yeah. It's not a red flag. Mm-hmm. It's not what you think it is. He's not trying to take his time and play with you. He actually wants to get to know you. He's serious about you. Then he goes on to address other things in the video. What was your reaction to that video?
So, I mean, I sent it to you right away, right?
Yeah.
And it spoke to me because I think, honestly, as women, we go through that on a daily, where you're trying to figure out if this person is a walking red flag or, you know, he's a green flag. And I think we've normalized the wrong red flags. For me, especially when he spoke about patience. Yeah. Patience for me was a thing of, he's probably trying to play games or he's acting busy. And I mean, we've seen numerous videos. I've seen one actually where a lady was like, I mean, the most guy that gave me most of his attention was a wealthy man. Probably he's giving you attention because he's made his money and he's really just relaxing and not doing much, you know. And we don't look out for that. But for me, I also thought that was a red flag prior watching the video. I thought someone who takes his time in responding is a red flag, but it really hit home to say actually this man is calm and also confusing. What did I say? Confusing chaos for chemistry. Oh, because we want things to be like clashing. Everything must hit collisions. You must feel this today, tomorrow feel like telling you the whole world about him.
Yeah,
but that's not life. Life is steady. Life is pacey. Yeah, life is peace. And when he said that, I actually changed my mind about my preconceived ideas of what red flags are.
Here's my question. I suppose it's the last because we are pressed for time. I want to gauge where a woman's headspace should be. Because when I was listening to him, what I heard is woman chase.
Yeah.
So we're chasing the relationship. We're saying we want to be pursued, but we're chasing. I mean, Nontle was a beautiful example of that. Yeah. She said that I would call, I would check in. I'm texting you, how are you doing in the morning? And so this man that was a little different is now the end all be all.
Yeah.
So as women, and of course, as a beautiful lady yourself, who's out here in these stories, tell me, where do you think our headspace should be? Because I've seen two schools of thought.
Yeah.
People who are super pressed in, like, oh, girl is knee deep and the guy hasn't said hi. And then you see people who are extremely nonchalant. I will not connect.
Yeah.
I will not. I'm not gonna try until you prove to me that you want me, and that I think is also problematic.
It is problematic, and I think we should stop making those examples where we on some no girls that are nonchalant, they get the most attention. Da 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 da.
Yes.
Because for me, it's yes, we chase, but also what he spoke about is the caliber of women. It's a different type of woman that he's speaking about, you know. And because we're so used to, at work, if you are a manager or whatever it is you are at a high position, you need to chase, you need to prove yourself. And love is not about proving yourself. Love is just about waking up. If he texted, okay. If he didn't, maybe text, you know. But for me, one big lesson I learned is that as women, we are not healed. And we are constantly looking for things to hurt us because pain feels so beautiful to us. We're so used to pain, Shayla. Like, if a guy doesn't do something that gazangs you, that's what I say to my
sound
friends.
effects. Okay.
Then we're like, no, there's nothing real. We want something to be evoked, and nothing needs to be evoked, because if this person is going to be a life partner, there needs to be peace.
Yeah, but sometimes peace is silence, and that bothers me.
And that's okay. It bothers me. You know that. I cry.
Why?
Like, I call my therapist. I'm like, he hasn't said hi. What's happening? And then he'll say hi.
Yeah.
Probably 10 hours later. And he'll just say, I was thinking about you. And that's beautiful. But we need to do away with the chase. We need to do away with the rush. Also, it's the type of world we're living now. Everything is fast paced. And we just need to relax and allow ourselves and allow God and the universe to show us how great love can be.
Yeah, but I want to come back to that silence thing, because yes, we are seeing men who are patient, who are willing.
Yeah.
But we're also seeing that in the same breath, there are men who realize that you aren't necessarily what they want. And so what you thought was a pursuit becomes silence.
But intuition, that's where it comes into play.
That gut.
That gut.
And that you
gut,
trust it.
I trust it.
Yeah.
Just don't confirm it with your friends. Because that's where the problem starts. When you're like, I feel this, but let me ask Shayla. And then Shayla's like, no, Chomi, if he's not doing 1, 2, 3, then it's not. So stick to you. Stick to who you are.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't work out, when you feel no, this is not it, then it's not it. We always want second opinion, and from people that are not even, experienced psychologists or, anything. Friends, move away from friends. Move away from friends.
Wow.
And because also let's stop looking for red flags. Let's stop putting tags on these things. How did our parents know, well, great grandparents know if this guy is right for them, if they never saw the activities on social media, if they never knew when he's saying he's going to work, he's really going to work. Let's just stick to our intuition and pray about it, I guess.
The voice of Nombuso Mahlangu joining us, super producer for the week. And she was sharing her thoughts, her views on red flags and essentially how to gauge these and how to be patient, okay? It's not microwave relationships. Take your time. Slow cook. Some things that are cooked in a slow cooker, in the pressure cooker is what they call it, often taste far, far more flavorful than that made in the microwave. Joining us on the line is also Morris Touch of the Afro Republic as we summate the show. Morris, good evening.
Good evening, Shayla. We are slowly cooking the show. Next 5 minutes, the show will be ready.
Well done, Morris. You heard the conversation. We were talking about relationships and how we should take our time and we need not rush and trust your intuition. I wonder which body part lives or hosts the intuition sometimes. Is it the gut? I've heard someone say the spleen. There's a bit of questions I have about this intuition. But outside that, Morris, what would be your counsel to somebody who's trying to get into a lifelong or perhaps what would seemingly appear as a very long experienced relationship, something that can prove to be fundamental in their day-to-day and something they can grow old to? What would you say to them?
The speaker there did highlight on the fact that some things you just need to pray about them, and red flags are always there. I've always said it. Red flags are always there, but we choose to ignore them in most cases. And what we get to do is, when we see red flags, we think we rename them and say they are pink flags. They are beautiful, but you would have seen things that you don't like. You know how it starts. An abusive man or a knack will show his true colors at the beginning of that relationship, and the victim usually justifies the abuser's actions and say, you know what, they are based on he was angry, he messed him up. That's how it starts. And once someone knows that you accept their chances, they will carry on. But if they know from the get-go that you don't consume any actions that are unbecoming towards you, then they're like very much likely to change or just leave you like that. So we need to be very careful. The red flags are always there. That's my take. That's my understanding of any relationship.
Now let's talk about that Afro Republic show that is in that pressure cooker, if you will, that's being slowly cooked, simmering for all to enjoy from midnight.
Okay, what I can tell you is shooting a Thursday, we have this morning, we've got our quiz that comes through a little bit later on. They will fire questions at me, I know, and I love them because they give me a very clear picture of the continent of Africa. We can also give you, the listener, an opportunity to get to know the continent of Africa as far as its music and its music and entertainment space is concerned. That does come through. The continent through its music. We'll get to 10 minutes before 3 o'clock, and we connect with the continent of Africa. I can tell you, yesterday, our producer Francis came through guns blazing, and he made it a point that he gives us all the answers. And Jabu Kolele, the guy who comes through between 3 and 6, was left wondering what just hit him. So that's the excitement that comes through with the one and only Afro Republic, 12 midnight to 3 a.m.
Thank you so much, Morris. You take over in the next 2 minutes. So let me bid the team farewell and, of course, thank them for the stunning job done. It is 58 after 11 p.m. Central African time. To the team that has been on digital, we had Elaine Wengani and Nhlanhla Ngcobo on production. Nombuso Mahlangu, whose voice you got to hear. And I am Shayla Ndikumana. We cannot forget our technical guru, that is Francis Messina. From the team and I, it's been a pleasure. Until tomorrow, do take care.
Madapiri, Pamalonje.
ndipo nkhani imene yachirika sabata ino ndiyokuti akatswiri azoyimba